Hey YouTube land, Icon just here doing another action figure review, and this time it's for a new line of figures from the company called JoyToys. And what it is, it's a Russian SSO Special Team Android. It's supposed to be a Spetsnaz, kind of futuristic version of one of them. I think the line is called Dark Source. I could be wrong on that, but they do two different versions of these figures. They do the 1/18 scale, which is what this guy is, and they also do a 1/24 scale version, which is obviously smaller scale. And they do a bunch of vehicles and mechs and stuff like that, all in that scale. But I picked this guy up mainly just to see what the line is like. He's the first figure I've gotten from this line. I think they've been out a little while, but I had him on pre-order for a bit at Big Bad Toy Store, and the pre-order came up, so I said, instead of cancelling, I said I'd get it and just try it to see what it was like. So before we get on to the figure, I'm just going to go on about the box. So you get two boxes. You get this outer cardboard box, and then you get this solid plastic inner box. The outer box is just full of legalese stuff, images of the figure, the name, again, image of the figure in an action pose, the logo up again, the SSO logo, and then just a barcode underneath. Pretty standard stuff. And then the box, inner box, which is where it gets a little interesting, is it's a solid plastic box, and it's completely disassemblable. If that's the right word. It comes pre-assembled, but you can disassemble it, and it comes with all these little pieces. So you get these chairs, which are two parts. You get these kind of handly things, and the chairs themselves. You get an extra chair piece, which has the double peg on the back, but there's a lot of little peg holes for the thing to go into. You get this little clip like thing, which is in three pieces. These clips come off it. You get these things, which I'm not sure what they are for, but you get them anyway. And you get the box itself, and it can be completely disassembled, and it contains the figure inside. And not only do you get all the disassembly parts, you get a whole bunch of instructions that are all in Chinese, so I can't read any of them. You can just go by the pictures and what the pictures are supposed to be for. If you can just bring it in there, is for just showing you how to assemble some of the parts. So this is kind of like a rundown of what you get. So you get thigh plates, front and side. You get pockets for either side. You get pockets for the body armor. You get the rifle helmet, which is in two parts. A clip for holding the rifle at the back, an alternate head, and you also get a belt that you have to assemble. There's two peg holes on either side, and then you get this big pouch that has a peg on it. And the idea behind it is you glue these together, these little C-clip things onto the pouches. You slide the pouches in onto the belt, then you peg this piece through both pegs on the belt. Although I'm not sure if it's just mine or if it's the way you're supposed to glue it together. It does show you gluing the belt together. I go to the other one. Let me just have a look there. So it shows you belt assembly. It shows you how to glue the pockets on. It doesn't say anything about gluing the belt, but it could say that you have to glue it. Again, I can't read the instructions for it, it's all in Chinese. So what I did was I just glued the belt piece through the two peg holes, and I left these pockets loose so I can maneuver them out of the way if I want to maneuver them for different poses. I'm not sure if you're supposed to glue them into place as well. These two pouches up here you have to glue into place. Well, you don't have to, but the instructions show you gluing them, and the side pouches on either the thigh piece are glued into place, as well with the thigh pieces and the front thigh pieces themselves. they're all glued into place. Figure is quite, as I said, it's quite nice, a little bit fiddly with all the pieces that you have to glue together. I kind of wish it was pre-assembled, but I get what they're kind of going for customization. So you have a working holster, you have a little pistol, it does fit in. Articulation wise, his shoulders can go up that much. It probably would get a better range of movement if the shoulder pad wasn't in the way, or the body armor. Head is on a dual joint, so you have a joint at the base of the neck and a joint at the base of the head. You have this piece that comes off, and you're supposed to, now the way the instructions show it is it's supposed to go through here, but if you look at the box, the rifle, the clip and the rifle looks longer than what it actually is, because it shows it over this piece and it doesn't fit over it at all. So if I just, it shows it kind of going through both sides of this and it doesn't actually do that. I'm not sure if you can fit it in that way. And it just supposed to, I can do it without breaking it, clip into place like that. So it's supposed to go at an angle, but it doesn't have the maneuverability to do it. So I tend to not use this thing that much. He has a swivel in the elbow and a 90-degree bend, swivel in the wrist, and a forward and back on the left, and he has up and down on the right. The right is supposed to be the trigger finger. There isn't an exactly sculpted trigger finger. You can put the pistols into both hands. Now the thumb and trigger finger on this side was glued into place, or was kind of sealed together. I did break it so I could actually put the rifle into the other hand. So you can put the rifle in both hands if you so wish. I also did it so I could have him holding the handlet in one hand as well if I wanted him to, because he couldn't actually fit it into his hand with the way the thumb and the trigger finger was glued together. So articulation wise, he is quite articulated. Again, as I said, he probably would have better range of movement on the shoulders if these shoulder pads weren't in the way. You're supposed to be able to remove all the armor parts, but some of them feel like they're glued in place, so I wouldn't risk it. He has a ball joint in the waist and can rotate around. He has the belt. It does hinder a small bit of his movement, but as I said, I didn't glue these pouches into place. Now one thing as well with one of my pouches, which is this larger of the ones here, the clip, the way the clips are designed, there's supposed to be like a U-shaped clip that goes into two peg holes on either of the pouches. There wasn't any peg holes on this one, so I just glued the clip together straight onto it. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up there, but they just glued it straight on, so it does raise a little bit higher than the other pouches. He does have a forward, not so much back on the leg, a upper thigh swivel. He has a dual jointed knee, which is quite nice. Again, this shows you these pads, knee pads, being glued in place on the instructions, but they seem to come pre-glued on these figures. It could be just for other figures, or for like other figures in the line, or for the smaller figures possibly. I'm assuming the instructions are pretty much the same for the small figures as these big larger figures. And he has a swivel just at the boot cuff. He has ankle swivel, and he has a hinge in the toe and forward and back on the ankle as well. So he has quite a range of movement on the feet and on the arms. Again, these pouches up here had to be glued in place. The holster and the extra pouch on the thigh piece had to be glued in place. So I'm not sure if I did it correctly. They showed you putting glue onto the centerpiece and then putting it in the spot, but I just used super glue. I don't know what 502 glue is in China. It could be polystyrene cement. One other thing I needed to do with this guy is his neck joint was quite tight, so I had to shave down the peg a small bit so I could get the head to turn reasonably without turning the whole neck, because there is a dual joint. There's a joint in here at the base of the neck and a joint at the base of the head. So when I was turning it, it was just turning the whole thing without the neck turning. Oh, there goes with his pistol. And he also has this helmet, just a two-part helmet. This visor piece is actually a separate part. It doesn't seem to swing down too well. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be designed to be left in the kind of upper position, because if you swing it down it just looks out of place. But what you can do is you can pop it over his head. He looks pretty sweet with it. The main reason I got this guy is because of the helmet design. It reminded me a lot of the old robotics pilots. The colour of it and the way the aesthetic of it looked like the pilots from that. And then, as I said, it comes with an alternate head. Now I'm not sure if it's just my one, but this one has no paint on it at all. It's just painted in a bare skin colour. I'm not sure if it's supposed to have paint apps, if it's supposed to have like dark hair or anything like that, or if it's up to you to customize it to the way you want it. I haven't seen too many reviews for these guys, so I can't remember. I know my buddy Arnold got one, and I can't remember if the alternate head in his one was painted or not. But you do have some good range of movement in the shoulders, as I said, and arms to get him into some nice, two-handed positions for holding the rifle. So if I just balance him there, oh yeah, and before I forget, he does have two peg holes on the bottom of his feet. So if I just balance him there for the time being, I'll just bring in my trusty tape measure. So with the helmet on, he stands just around just a hair over 4 inches. Without it, he's just on just the 4 inches. And for size comparison, here he is with one of the mercenary figures from Jurassic World. Here he is with a Cobra Mars Trooper, or a Mars Trooper from the Rise of Cobra movie line. Here he is with one of the female Cobra soldiers. And for alternate view, here he is with the JoyToys City Hunter Predator. You can just stand up behind him there. City Hunter is quite a tall figure, and I guess I have him to hand. Here he is with good old Dr. Ian Malcolm. So you can see the scale varies a little bit. I know people were a little bit disappointed with the Jurassic World figures, feeling that they were a bit too small. I quite like them. I kind of think they look a bit, they look pretty good for what they are. And I know the Predator figures, the JoyToys Predator figures are pretty sweet as well, so I've done video reviews for those in the past, so if you want to check that out, just have a look through my playlist. But all in all, this figure line is really cool. I do wish they were pre-assembled and you didn't have to mess around with glue and all that for putting the belts and the pouches and stuff on, but I do get the idea that they're supposed to be customizable to your liking as well, so there is that kind of element to it. There are some other figures that are up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store now at the moment, and they look interesting enough because they come with soft goods style, what are they called, like scarves, like the kind of desert scarves that they had in the Gulf War for covering their faces and stuff like that, that kind of stuff. Pretty much, if I just grab this box here, everything falling down. Not sure if these have a specific name, but this sort of style scarf, it has that kind. The newer ones will have stuff like that on them. There's I think about 5 or 6 more figures on the way from these guys, with the existing ones that are already out there, so they're be quite extensive. They do have big mechs. I'm not sure if the big mechs are going to be, if they're releasing the mechs in both 1:18 scale. I think I've only seen them on 1:24 scale at the moment, but there could be 1:18 ones coming as well. So there you go, guys. There's a quick video review for the SSO Russian Special Forces SSO figure, the 1:18 scale figure from JoyToys, or JoyToys. I do hope you enjoyed the video review. I hope I didn't waffle on too much for you, and as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.